Hello, everybody. Chris Prescott here once again with Master CDP Studios, coming at you again with another segment in my pro wrestling show or whatever I'm going to call it. Still don't know what it's going to be called yet. Either way, we talk pro wrestling on this segment, and in this video today, I'm going to be going over my Survivor Series predictions. All right, so we have a pretty stacked card coming up here. A lot of shakeup over the last week or so in regards to the whole card itself, as far as the championship match and a few rumblings of some returns and whatnot, and a couple people getting in trouble on the European tour that could possibly affect the storylines going into Survivor Series and afterwards. So let's start with it. Let's start with the what could be the first match on the card. Not sure. I'll go with Enzo versus Kalisto for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. I see Enzo retaining, especially because there are rumblings that Hideo Itami and Rockstar Spud, former TNA wrestler, will be making their debut at least in the Cruiserweight division. Not sure when they are supposed to show up. But supposedly they're going to be bumped up to the main roster and go to the 205 Live show, and they're going to be part of the Cruiserweight division. So I definitely see Enzo Amore winning the title, and then I could see Rockstar Spud or Hideo challenging him for it and taking it off him. So that also leads me to the Neville news that I spoke about this in one of my other videos that I recorded today. That's out on my YouTube channel now, about the talks between WWE and Neville being on a positive note now, and that they're already talking about his return. And I could maybe even see Neville coming back first, challenging Enzo for the title, maybe the next pay-per-view or maybe even on Raw the night after Survivor Series, because that would be pretty big news right there. Enzo being out in the ring gloating about his successful title defense, and then Neville comes out, after having all this controversy surrounding him. I think the crowd would explode if his song came on and he came out to challenge Enzo. And I could see them going with that, him coming out and him challenging right then and there on the spot, and Kurt Angle making the match. Neville wins, and then Hideo and Rockstar Spud come up, and then they can start feuding. Because if they're gonna make the 205 division worth something again, Hideo, Rockstar Spud, Enzo, can't put him on the level of, as far as in-ring skill goes, with the likes of these guys, Hideo and Neville, but you can put him up there for sure for star power and mic work. And, if you have Enzo, Kalisto, Hideo, Neville, Rockstar Spud, and you start, treating these other guys that are in the Cruiserweight division seriously, like, Jack Gallagher, Brian Kendrick, TJ Perkins, you have the recipe for a great division. Now start using all those pieces to the puzzle. Start using that, making that division worth something. I've said it once, I'll say it again. It needs to go to SmackDown. Cruiserweight division needs to go to SmackDown. They'll treat it a lot better there. And they have the shorter show too, 2 hours compared to Raw's 3 hours. No excuse why they can't have the Cruiserweights featured on that show in a better light, but they don't right now. But I think they want to probably revamp it, and obviously it's enough for Neville to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to come back. I mean, because I'm pretty sure he wasn't the happiest guy in 205 Live or in the Cruiserweight division, and I'm pretty sure he even saw it as a demotion. So for them to possibly be on positive talks now, or in positive talks, and having him return, must mean that they're going to seriously revamp the Cruiserweight division, and I hope so, because it deserves it. But, with Hideo, a little tidbit here is there's also been talks that he might be going back to Japan. So is Hideo going to be brought up only to be used as star power and a guy to put people over until he's gone? Or are they going to treat him serious, and is he going to be a serious contender? And could he capture the 205, the Cruiserweight Championship, and make him like that legitimate badass that just holds on to it for a long time? And then maybe have it like that, and then Neville comes back and, challenges him for it, depending on when, they plan on bringing Neville back. So who knows? So that's already interesting enough right there with what could possibly go on with the Cruiserweight division. That's first match on the card here for Survivor Series. Next match, we'll go with the Bar versus the Usos. That match, is going to be probably pretty crazy, and it's probably going to be up there with the match of the year candidate, maybe match of the night at least. Um, you know, both teams have shown that they work really hard. Both teams go out there and they could hardly have a bad match. Like those guys always go out there, they work their asses off. You know you're always going to get a good show. You're always going to get a good match, whether it's the Bar or the Usos. And now you're going to have them face each other at Survivor Series, the Raw Championship or Tag Champs, the Bar versus the SmackDown Tag Champs, the Usos. So really looking forward to that match. I see the Bar going over here, just because they just won back the titles. But we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how Raw and SmackDown play out this week, and then it'll kind of give us a better idea of who's going to go over at Survivor Series there. And next match we'll go over Alexa Bliss versus Natalya. Now this is another interesting match because you have a few things looming. One, you have Carmella, who is still the women's Money in the Bank briefcase holder, so she could literally cash it in on Natalya right after the match. I have Bliss going over Natalya, but I'm kind of starting to change my mind on that because I feel like the Raw women's team is going to win the 5 versus 5 women's match. So I almost see Natalya possibly winning and then Carmella coming out and cashing that in. But also with Alexa Bliss being on Raw, maybe even Paige returns and interferes and costs her the match. And, solidifying, hey, I'm here, I'm back, I want my title shot. So I could actually see that possibly happening. And then, of course, you get SmackDown's women's champ beating Raw's champ only to lose the belt right after with Carmella cashing in. So who knows? I originally went with Bliss defeating Natalya, but I've changed my prediction to Natalya defeating Bliss and then with a possible run-in by Paige. And then, of course, cashing in of the Money in the Bank briefcase by Carmella on Natalya and defeating Natalya for the title. And next match I have here will be the women's 5 versus 5 matchup here. So like I was saying earlier on that, I feel like the Raw team will win primarily because, they have Asuka on their team. So I feel like, you can't have her lose yet. You definitely can't have her take her first pin or submission loss in a 5 versus 5 elimination match unless, which I still hope they don't do this, that she gets counted out and that's how she's eliminated. But I really can't see them going that route. I feel like they'll win. Team Raw will go over on the women's Team SmackDown's women's team. If Paige doesn't return during the title match, and if she doesn't return tonight, I guess I could see her, but I don't know why she would interfere in this match. I could see her more interfering in the Alexa Bliss versus Natalya match because, there's a purpose there. I want to, make a challenge to the champ, tell the champ I'm here and I want my title shot. So I don't really see her interfering in that match. Actually, I don't see any kind of swerve or anything. I just see that being a straight, 5-on-5 match and the Raw women's team going over with probably more than anything, just a showcase of Asuka dominating everybody. And I kind of feel like they'll go that route because they kind of got off to a slow start with her on the main roster, before they started having these enhancement matches for her. So this will be a good way for her to be showcased as a dominant contender on the Raw women's roster. And the next match, of course, the Shield versus the New Day. While not officially announced yet, I'm sure will be announced tonight on Monday Night Raw. We'll see the Shield taking on the New Day. I could see the Shield going over New Day. I could also see possible heel turns. They've been talking about Dean turning. I really hope they don't go that route yet. I hope they don't do any type of Shield breakup just yet. Why would you do that? You brought back one of the hottest groups in wrestling over the last few years. You reunited them after a excellent heel turn by Rollins and swerving everyone and betraying the Shield in 2014. So why would you do that now? Why would you break them up now? Because the Shield, they can still make you money, and they're still a very popular group. And there's a lot of people that still want to see more wars with the Shield. Especially if there's rumors. Rumors are going to be true about having variations of the club on Raw and SmackDown. Why wouldn't you want the Shield there to battle with them? The Undisputed Era. and whatever other factions you come up with until then, like, why wouldn't you want that still? They can still make you money. Um, because there's always the talks that, Dean might turn. But, I mean, if anything, have Roman turn. Why not? People are still booing him. People still boo Roman Reigns, even though he's part of the Shield now. Or back with the Shield. Turn Roman heel. Do it. That would be perfect. And then you give him that Die Rocky Die promo. And he can cut the promo of a lifetime as a heel and talk about, I was with the Shield and you still booed me. Like, he can be that heel. He can be so good. A lot of money to make there with Roman Reigns as a heel. But as far as the Survivor Series match goes, I could see Shield defeating New Day. And if anything, don't know if they want to go this route yet, but maybe Big E turns heel on the New Day. Who knows? That would be perfect, though. I think as far as heel turns go, Big E turning on the New Day would be great. That would shock a lot of people, and people would be like in disbelief because the New Day is very popular still. A lot of people still cheer for them. So that would be a nice little swerve there. And quite frankly, I want to see Big E pushed more as a singles competitor, and I think he'd be great as a heel monster and bring back the whole 5 gimmick where he made the ref count to 5 for his opponents when he pinned them. That was perfect. Do that again. So, but my prediction is when this match is announced, we are going to see the Shield versus the New Day, and the Shield will defeat the New Day at Survivor Series. Possible heel turns, who knows? But that's probably going to be every prediction on this card because this card is already shaping up to be a pretty memorable Survivor Series. And the next match, we have The Miz versus Baron Corbin. Now, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the promos they've been cutting on each other on social media, but it's been great watching these two guys just let loose. And that is the thing that, a lot of the people, the fans, the wrestlers are talking about. Let them do stuff like that. Let them go on their social media and talk smack on the other guy. You're supposed to be billing it like it's a fight, like it's a real fight that these two guys are about to get into. And why not have them trash talk each other through their, camera phones and posting it on Twitter or Instagram or wherever they're going to do it? That's just another way for them to do it now. You might as well. Social media is popular, so let them go crazy on there. And let them have that freedom since it's not on televised, a televised wrestling show, PG show. Let them be a little more loose with their language. Let them kind of say whatever they want. Make it feel real. Let it be real. I mean, The Miz is awesome. We already know, regardless if it's in front of a live audience on WWE TV or if he's doing a promo on his Twitter, he's going to cut a great promo regardless of, and especially, with this one with Baron Corbin, how it got a little personal where Baron Corbin said something about Maurice, and The Miz told him, if you ever say anything about my pregnant wife again, I'm going to knock your effing teeth down your throat. I mean, that was perfect. That you felt the real emotion in that. And then Baron Corbin just the other day said that he was going to beat Miz so bad that he was going to be the stay-at-home wife. That's freaking funny. Those two guys are just letting it loose, and I'm glad to see Baron Corbin kind of getting more relaxed and comfortable, but I don't like that they book him as like a cowardly heel that runs and, can't win fights against smaller guys. Like, why would you do that? He's a freaking Golden Gloves winner, for crying out loud. Like, he should be treated like a monster. SmackDown should be booking him like their Braun Strowman. Like, there's no excuse for that. Like, why he's not this dominant monster heel on the roster. I mean, he's good in the ring. He's not like the best technical wrestler in the world, but he gets the job done. He has the presence. He has the, the confidence. Just groom him a little bit. Help him out on his promos a little bit. Other than, like I said, his off television promos on social media have been pretty good. But start booking him to be a monster, to be a serious contender. Like, he's 6'9". He used to play in the NFL. He's a Golden Gloves winner. He's trained in boxing. Like, have this guy as a legitimate threat that he is. So, but as far as who I see going over, I want to say they want to maybe recharge Baron, and I can almost see him kind of going over in this match. That's what I feel anyway. I see Baron Corbin going over in this match just because The Miz can take the loss. And I don't know if Baron Corbin can take it, another loss as United States champ. Because come on, he's losing these matches, these non-title matches, and what is he getting out of it? So I could almost see them saying, hey, let's straighten up now, and let's give Baron a credible victory here, and maybe that's what the whole purpose of this in the first place was, anyways, to allow him to get a credible victory over a guy like The Miz. So we'll see what happens when that match finally when the bell rings, and we'll see who's left standing after that one. And then, of course, one of the main events of the evening, we have the 5-on-5 men's Raw versus SmackDown elimination match. So this is the match right here that has potential swerves and heel turns written all over it. Everything from the talks of Randy Orton possibly turning on SmackDown to maybe The Undertaker showing up and challenging whoever he may be challenging. I mean, there could be so many. There's so many ways they're going to go with this match, I'm sure. I mean, who knows? I almost want to say, I'm not going to go this far and actually make it a prediction, but maybe a Cena heel turn. Who knows? Who knows? You never know. But I see Team SmackDown losing this match. I kind of want to hope that they're going to go with awesome booking here and maybe even leave Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn off of SmackDown tomorrow night and having them not show up on TV until Survivor Series and have them swerve everybody by showing up and costing Team SmackDown the match. But if rumors are true and Randy Orton is going to turn heel and go to Raw, I don't see how that's going to happen unless Kurt Angle is already working an angle with him. You know, from a kayfabe perspective, that Kurt Angle is, masterminding this with Randy Orton. But then there's that other. Speaking of Kurt Angle, what about Jason Jordan? Like, is Jason Jordan going to turn heel here? See, there's two ways they can go with Jason Jordan turning heel. They can have it where, like, yeah, you realize Kurt Angle has been giving him favoring him over everyone else on Raw, and that's why he's in the match that he's in now. And maybe that's gonna finally reveal itself in this match. Maybe Kurt Angle and Jordan, pull a cheap heel move or something to win the match. So who knows? It's gonna be a pretty big match for Jordan here. But they could also go the other route where, if maybe SmackDown wins and maybe you find out Jason Jordan was lying about this whole, being Kurt Angle's son and convinced Kurt to believe him to get him in the higher position on the main roster. And, maybe he turns on Raw and then on SmackDown he cuts a promo saying, "I was never your son. I used you just to elevate my career and my status here in the WWE." That would be excellent. That would make this storyline, this horrible storyline of Kurt Angle being Jason Jordan's father, into something really good. As, Brock Lesnar said, turn chicken into chicken salad. So that would be the way to do it right there. But lots of ways this match can go. Just because the majority of the rumors have someone from SmackDown costing SmackDown the match. I mean, the only one I've heard is Jason Jordan costing Team Raw the match and betraying everyone. But I mean, so far what I've been hearing is Randy Orton possibly betraying more than any other rumor on this match. But I'm gonna probably go with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens costing the match because they're not even on the card. So that's what I'm going to go with. And I'm going to go either way, regardless of a screwy finish or not. I'm going with Team SmackDown on this one. And then, of course, we have the last match. The Beast, Brock Lesnar, going off against AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, the WWE champ versus the Universal champ. Now, we know Paul Heyman, or, reportedly Paul Heyman was behind the push to get AJ Styles into the match against Brock Lesnar, or to have Jinder drop the title to AJ so AJ could face Brock. You already know this match is going to be crazy. This is going to be a great match. They'll probably get like a 20-minute match, I can say. Or I safe to say. I want to say, I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar going over here. But, what is this going to... What's going to be the consequences of this match afterwards? Brock Lesnar beats AJ. AJ is the champ still. Are we going to start pushing more and more towards the Nakamura versus Styles at Mania next year? Could Undertaker make his presence known in this match and challenge either or to WrestleMania next year? Either going on against, try to get revenge on the Beast, or possibly going up against the Phenomenal One? Who knows? Will there be a new club? Maybe AJ Styles forms a new club and they help him beat Brock Lesnar. Because one of my fantasy bookings was to have Balor win the Rumble, challenge Lesnar at Mania next year, and then have him reform the club on Raw and have them dismantle Lesnar, like help him destroy Lesnar and beat Lesnar for the Universal Champion so the club could rule Raw. But maybe we'll see that on SmackDown. But I don't know. I don't think they want to turn AJ Styles heel yet. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Will that even be a heel move to begin with? Everyone would cheer for him. But, are we going to get the seeds now planted even more with Shinsuke versus AJ? I think that's the match that you need to have for the SmackDown Championship. You need to have AJ Styles versus Shinsuke, unless they insert Bobby Roode somehow into that. But I think they're going to go with that. And what I would like to see, especially now, because we have rumblings of Daniel Bryan trying to make his return to WWE next year. So what that tells me, because, he was already saying before early in the year, if it's not going to be with WWE, I'm 100% wrestling, even if it's not in WWE. But now that he's saying that he's trying his best and hardest to get back into the WWE because that's where he wants to return, I feel that means he is going to return. He's going to show up at the Royal Rumble. I'm going with the bold prediction right here. This is my final prediction. Lesnar's going to win. Obviously, it doesn't matter who wins this match because no one's going to lose their title. Lesnar's going to win. AJ Styles is going to go on to face Shinsuke. He'll retain the title and go on to face Shinsuke at WrestleMania. And I think Daniel Bryan's going to win the Rumble and go off to face Lesnar at Mania. That's my prediction for that. I know I kind of fast forward past Survivor Series a little bit on that one, but that's what I'm going with. It's all relevant because with Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles, and you have those two, their possible storylines are already being planned out, or sorry, the seeds are already planted there for each of their respective storylines going into WrestleMania. But as far as this match goes, I mean, it's just going to be a straight one-on-one match. It's going to be crazy. I don't really see anything furthering, their rivalry other than this match. So, I mean, I'm going to have to go with just Brock Lesnar going over AJ Styles. And that's it. So, no screwy finish. I mean, unless, of course, they go with AJ Styles defeating Lesnar, and then, it's probably going to be something crazy that happens. Maybe, who knows, maybe Brock's next opponent for, the next pay-per-view that he's going to wrestle, Royal Rumble, maybe that person comes out and attacks Brock, costing him the match against AJ Styles. Or Jinder is going to interfere in the match and cost AJ Styles the match. So, either way, I'm still going with Brock over AJ Styles in this. Sorry for the rambling there. I do I get so lost in all these other predictions and all my fantasy bookings of it that I start to kind of trail off the main subject line there. But, that's my Survivor Series predictions right there. Hope you guys enjoyed the segment here. I'm going to be doing more of these. I'm going to be doing a bunch of these segments, and I'm going to be doing these instead of the podcast because it seems like it's more, tolerable to people, or it will be more tolerable to people just to listen to these quick news bits. Even though they're 20 minutes, some of them might be 20 minutes or so. Probably still better than listening to a 45-hour podcast of me, droning on about, the same subject. So I want to do more of these, and I'll do specific ones for video games as well. That way you have, your different videos and your different segments that you want to listen to. You pick and choose which one you want to listen to. But with that being said, that'll wrap this segment up, my Survivor Series predictions for next week. Hope you guys are ready for it, because I am. So don't forget, NXT War Games and WWE Survivor Series comes to you live this weekend in San Antonio. This is Chris with Master CDP Studios. Stick around.